Welcome back to Getting Sober ... again, and today I am 2 months sober. And I talked about it in the last episode for about that long. I just said that I'm 2 months sober, and then I glazed completely over this big milestone, and then I didn't talk anymore about it. But so today I am going to talk about it. So one of the tools that I have in a previous episode, if you go back and look at the thumbnail, like I'm holding the phone up like this. This is the Quitzilla app, and my camera's not going to focus because there it goes. It has like the things that I'm quitting. So we're not going to go over all of them, but the one main one is alcohol. So today is day 61, according to that app. And then what's cool about that app and keeping track of our progress is you can also put in, like I did, I put that I was spending $20 a day. I was spending $20 a day on alcohol and whatever else as a result, because then I'd go like eat next door and whatever else, get some fast food. So I plugged that information in. That helped me honestly more than the days of sobriety, because I was like, look at all this money I'm saving, which then I would turn that into like, look at all this money I can spend on Amazon or whatever, you know? So that's a good resource for sure. If there's other apps that you use, comment below and let me know what you like. But it's really nice. It shows like the progress of like whatever your goal is. So I have a 3-month goal for drinking. That's the default one, I think. It also increases the goal. Like as you keep going, it'll keep growing the goal. So if one of the goals I have on here is going on a week. So it's like, oh, your next milestone is 1 week. And after you pass the 2 week or the 1 week, it'll be like, 2 weeks. And then it's like you're X amount of percentage away from a month and so on. So I like that kind of a visual stimulus instead of just having it, be in your head, or, you wrote it down on an old school calendar. You put a happy face on the day that you quit drinking or whatever. You can just have it in your app at all times. And then, so that was really helpful. But so I want to talk about the 2 months, the 2-month milestone for me, and some of the things I observed in that 2 months. And I will say that I was just taking a nap. I don't know how my hair looks, but I was just taking a nap. And it's the first nap that I've taken in probably like 3 weeks. But during the first month, I took a bunch of naps as I was kind of like acclimating to like my physical changes, like my energy levels. And I felt like during the first month, I feel like the first month was way harder than the second month. Not way harder. I think it was harder than the second month. I feel like the second month was pretty easy. If you agree, comment below that if you can get through a month, you could probably get through more, right? But it's interesting like how the human mind works, right? So like, let's say we'll use push-ups for example. Let's say you can do some push-ups, right? And if I said to you, do 50 push-ups, it doesn't matter who you are, you're probably gonna freak out. But the interesting thing about telling somebody who can do push-ups to do an extreme amount of push-ups, like let's say 50 is an extreme amount of push-ups, is that you wouldn't think about the milestones as you're passing them. After you got to 5, you wouldn't care about 5. You wouldn't even care about 10. You would just blow through 5 and you blow through 10 and 15, you'd probably start struggling. And then like you get into the 20s and then you really start thinking like, I don't know, maybe I'll just have a valiant effort and I'll get to 30 and it'll take me a couple minutes, but I'll get to it. But the point is like, you'll blow past all of those other milestones and you won't appreciate them. And cause they won't have been the milestones. But if you had dropped the milestone to just say 10 push-ups, as you get to like 6, 7, 8's a little harder than 7, and 9's a little bit harder, but we're really close to 10, so we're just gonna plow through. And then you get to 10 and you just do the 10 and you're just like, oh man, I got to 10. What your goal, you only made your goal 10. So it's like, you're probably more likely, from what I've observed is being my own person in my human body, that making a goal of 10 and trying to get to 10, you struggle getting to that 10, but if you make the goal too big, it's kind of like, well, what's the point? We're only at 10. You said 100, that's gonna take me all day, and forget it. I'm just not gonna do it. But we'll tend to struggle with wherever we set the bar. Like as soon as we're getting close to the bar, we start to struggle and we start to have flashbacks about all the times we didn't have to do push-ups and start to have flashbacks about, if it's drinking or, a drug habit or cigarettes or whatever it is, sugar. We start to think about like all the times, like, all the good times we had on cake, and then, no, I can't have it anymore. Or like, I can only have so little of it. It's like, once you start getting to that threshold, your brain starts to play games with you. And so for me, that second month was pretty easy. I had already gotten into my routines of editing, shooting and editing this podcast more regularly. So thank you for watching. It does really help me a lot that you watch and that you comment. I look forward to waking up every morning. I know I say this in every podcast. I'm not going to stop saying it because I look forward every morning to waking up and, doing my memes and stuff. But then like looking and coming on this channel and seeing, do I have a little bell notification? Did somebody message me? And then I like checking, I'll go the whole day and then I'll check it again at night and see like, how are my getting sober again friends doing? Are they giving me progress reports and updates? Are they letting me know about like what are they anxious about? How are they feeling about New Year's resolutions or Thanksgiving or whatever, right? So I look forward to that. But I'd already settled in that first month. I had already kind of I started sketching out. So I started writing down my schedule for a daily routine. So I downloaded a new checklist app. I don't know if you ever remember me talking about using an app called Checklist, but don't ever use the app called Checklist. And I told them yesterday I was going to talk about it on YouTube. There's a couple of them. So I can't tell you which one, but if there's one called Checklist, don't use it. I use the Google one. It's actually made by Google now. So the checklists were really important for me because I would start as I would get an idea down, like as soon as an idea pops in any of our heads, I am a firm believer that it is your job, it is your duty to capture that idea with your idea net and put it into your collection, put it into the queue of other ideas, at least have it sat there and parked there and documented that you acknowledge that this idea is either, it's good or worth paying attention to, and maybe seeing it through and watering that little seed and growing it into something better and bigger that you can maybe, it'll fruit someday and it'll feed you someday, hopefully, and maybe it'll feed other people. So I did a good job of, in my opinion, I did a good job of documenting what my time was going to look like in that first month, what my day was going to look like. I had a daily to-do list from making the bed all the way to sleep. And there were, things that I needed to get done. And of course, there was time left throughout the day to do other things. But then, so I knew like, all right, I have to do this every other day, or I have to do this specifically on Wednesdays, or I'm going to write for new podcasts between this time and this time, between like 9 a.m. and 11. And then after that, after I get like mentally fatigued, I'll go to the gym and then I'll get some energy there. And when I get the energy at the gym, I'll get more ideas when I'm at the gym, because that's what happens. That's what happens in our brains, right? We used to roam the plains and hunt for food, and now we just hunt for deals on shelves. But then when we actually start to use this vehicle to manifest our ideas, we get an idea, we say, want food, and then body goes, we go get food. Then you put the mind to the body, and then that whole chain reaction happens, right? So what we're not used to doing anymore is having that brain body symmetry, because we're not doing that anymore. A lot of us are just like sitting at a desk and sitting in front of a computer doing our work. We're not using our body. We're just using our brain and our thumbs, our brain and our fingers to accomplish some sort of task or accomplish some sort of work, put together some sort of presentation for work. So we're taking kind of the body part out of it. The only time that we're ever using our body now is if we go to like the gym or we do yoga or something at home. So we got to get that brain-body connection again. So that was an important part of my routine. Is I try to go to the gym. I try to go to the gym every day. I fortunately get to work from home. Some days I don't work. I'm not working at all today. I'm not making any money today. There's not a lick of money coming in for me. But so it's a lazy day. That's why I was taking a nap earlier. I took my first nap in 3 weeks because I had nothing to do and I'm just trying to enjoy it. And I looked up some information online before I came and talked to you all. And so here we are. So month 2 is a little bit easier than month 1. And it takes the 21 days to establish a habit, to create a habit and stick to it. And then, so there's the 2190 rule. Maybe write that down, so look that up, 2190 rule. So we do something for 21 days, and it should become a habit after 21 days. Like you're just flat out used to it by then. Pick any activity, going to the gym. Are you going to the gym for 3 weeks? Well, you go to the gym now. That's what you do. You've been going for 3 weeks. You go there now. That's what you do. And then after 3 weeks, the next goal would be 3 months. So that's 90 days, 3 months, 90 days. So that's what I'm going for. That's where I'm going towards now with the drinking. I actually had a dream last night. Thanks for reminding me. I had a dream last night that I was hanging out with my ex and we were drinking. We were standing in line. We had already had 2 drinks and we were standing in line to buy a beverage at like the art museum. And that was a real flashback memory that manifested itself into a dream. And I didn't feel conflicted about it. I felt conflicted that I drank. Like in the dream, I was like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not drinking. And I felt like legitimately guilty about it. So that makes me feel good. Like that's, my heart and my mind and my heart were in the same place, which is we don't drink. And when I woke up, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't drink. Awesome. All right. Because it's not a problem for me right now. Like I don't have the temptations, but like I had to make some big changes though in the last month. I had to make some really big changes to what I do on a daily basis. And again, it's like I know we're not all in the same situation. Some of you are working from home on a computer. Maybe you're doing your Zoom calls, but maybe you're not. Maybe you are faced with having to be in the general public during the time of a pandemic or whatever. And there's germs flying around and we don't know what the literature is because everything's different. Everybody says something different. And apparently there's multiple variations of the coronavirus, but that's not what we're talking about today. But work out whatever schedule, is best for you. Have your full transparency with your friends and your family, the people that are closest to you, so that you don't have these curveballs coming out. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to go see so-and-so on whatever day. I never told them that I'm sober. And then you don't tell them that you're sober. And then like, oh, you're supposed to go meet them at like their kid's recital or whatever. And they brought the flask with them and then they're putting, I don't know. That was a dumb scenario, but they put you in their former drinking buddy, and they put you in a drinking scenario, I guess is what I meant to say. And then you end up doing that, and it's like you're subject to that, and you have to be like, whoa, hold on, no, I don't do that anymore. I don't drink. Ooh, I probably could have said that better, but that was a close call. And then they feel awkward, and you feel awkward. So you got to do your homework in the beginning. Coming up with your plans. And being fully transparent with all your friends and family and ask them to honor and respect that. Like that's what your journey is right now. Like that's what you need for you. And if you decide to go back to drinking in the future, if you feel like you can go back to moderate drinking, just like all the other times that you thought that you can go back to moderate drinking, you do. And then, it was just like, no, I'm gonna drink everything. And then it was like, and then 3 months goes by and you're like, I have not taken a break from drinking. I've been drinking every day. So, full transparency. I think I drank, they're 52 weeks a year. I think I can safely say that I didn't drink about 10 of those 52 weeks. Sorry, but I'm back. So I'm back on the sober wagon. And some of you are with me. Some of you come and go. And I'm not judging. Like I thank you for the company while you're here. But so let me talk, I know I get scattered when I talk, but it all makes sense, right? So the 2 months though, I seem to have more energy in the second month than I did in the first month. There's always a romantic phase or a honeymoon phase, I should say. There's always a honeymoon phase. I never want you, if you remember anything I say, I'm sorry, I keep like kind of stuttering. I bit my tongue on the side, I feel like my tongue doesn't want to move. But if you remember anything that I ever said, remember that there is a honeymoon phase for everything. You will be so in love with whatever idea or plan that you come up with. And the strength of that plan alone and the action for having engaged that plan is not enough to carry you beyond a 2 or so week period. After 2 weeks or so, you will start again with the what's the point thoughts, and the I don't know if this is working thoughts, and like well, I mean, I don't know, it wasn't that bad. I'll just hang out with my friends and let's go back to doing what I'm used to doing, you know. It's really easy to go back to that. So you get all riled up and excited. I was very excited and at the beginning when I started this in November, right? And I was like, nope, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not drinking no more. And I was totally in love with that idea. And it's, again, not my first rodeo. So I was okay with that. I was totally cool with that. And I knew that the honeymoon phase was coming. We were getting really close to, I was gonna have to start seeing my days without its makeup on, with bad breath and whatever. And, you know, and that's what it was. And then then I was like, I think I'm just gonna nap through some of these days. And then I'm gonna go to bed early on some of these other days. I don't even recognize these days anymore. Nah. And so, you know, that was like the first month. You're gonna have ups and downs, and keep track of it. Keep a log of it. You're smart enough to keep track of it. You know, don't be, you know, like we're not all wild animals anymore. We're not feral. We may be slightly feral. I'm slightly feral for sure. But, you know, get past the wild part about you. Like, you have technology, you have like these very expensive things in your pocket, and we have technology all over the place. You don't just poop in a bucket and dump it out the window. We have technology, use technology. Write down how you're feeling, observe how you're feeling. Watch more YouTube videos besides me, but if you're only gonna watch one, I appreciate you for picking this one. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up on that because that's a really good line, or bar, as they say in the rap community. And good luck to you, and good luck on your next milestone. What is your next milestone? Comment below. So I'm just capping up month 2, rounding the corner for 3rd, and hopefully I'll get there. I mean, I will get there. I am going to get there. And hats off to all of you that have been sober for longer than me. Some of you have been telling me you've been sober for like a year. I've never been sober for a year. Well, correction, I was sober for 21 years. First 21 years of my life.